Greetings, greetings, beautiful being. Thank you so much for tuning in today, whatever time it is, now, later, whatever. It's all beautiful. I am very glad to see you here at Movement Medicine Morsels. And I'm trying something a little bit different this week. I'm calling it Interactive Week, so that if anyone is tuning in live and you have a question or a request, please feel free to type it in the chat box. And just to give a little bit of time for people to gather and to consider whether you want to put your fingers on the keyboard, we're going to start with a little bit of settling, a little bit of centering. So please find your seat, or maybe you're lying down or standing up. Let's feel our feet. If you're lying down, you want to feel the whole back of your body. So whatever's connecting to the earth, through the floor, a carpet, whatever it is, sense the soles of your feet. Feel their connection to the support beneath. And if you're sitting in a chair, sense that same type of feeling in your sit bones and your buttocks. Maybe you even want to gently rock a bit from side to side to awaken that connection. We want to bring our sensations into our physical body. So we're connecting to our feet and our base of our pelvis if we're sitting. And let this become nice and strong and steady. And from this, allow the spine to float and elongate upwards, as though there's a little cord connected to the very top of your head that draws up gently. And it creates that space and freedom between the vertebrae of your spine. And let's just settle here for a moment. We have our ground. We have our sense of suspension and elongation. And let's tune into a soft smile and some gentle breathing. If you like, you can even rest your hands on your belly or on your chest, or anywhere that feels soothing or helpful for you. And let yourself feel your body getting a little bit bigger. The volume expands as you inhale, and the volume decreases or shrinks as you exhale. Now, you're not shrinking your height. You're feeling your volume expanding front, back, sides, and then gently drawing in front, back, sides. So just settle, let yourself drop into your breath. And just be yourself. Find out from inside what pace feels good for your breath. And drop into a lovely, soothing, and steady rhythm for this. And so we're settling our energies, and as we settle and a few more people have arrived, once more I extend a heartfelt invitation. If you feel a question or a request bubbling up in you, feel free to drop it in the chat box, and I will weave that into today's session. So I'm watching just in case. And we'll continue in the chair. So my plan, I'll just keep going with, but I'm ready to change directions if there's something you'd like to include. So I want to do some, I'm feeling some expansion in the shoulders, some gentle movement to open up the places that I often hear you asking for, which are things shoulders, neck, hips. So let's start with a little bit with the shoulders, gently rising up. Oh, bones on the tops of the feet, neck mobility. Oh, yummy, delicious. Thank you, thank you. So let's start with the neck mobility because we're already going in for the shoulders and the bones on the tops of the feet. I love that. That's a bit mysterious, but wonderful. So let's inhale and raise the shoulders just a comfortable amount and let them relax because, of course, neck is connected to what's above and below. So just lifting the shoulders a comfortable amount, slowly and smoothly, and letting the shoulders melt down and rest. So comfortable and smooth is the priority Because sometimes we think, oh, I have to really hike my shoulders up, bigger is better. It's not like that in this approach. So where is the comfort? And some people find lifting from the armpits is actually more supportive than lifting from the top of the shoulders. So you might want to consider that. When we lift from the armpits, we may be involving a little bit more of our trunk. When we lift from the shoulders, we may be over-engaging our neck. So that may be a clue in the neck department already. So gentle with the shoulders. One of the best rules I learned in yoga therapy was always look above and below the issue for extra information. So gently shoulders up and shoulders down. And new direction for the shoulder girdle. Let's draw the shoulders back, which also engages the collarbones and the shoulder blades. And as we exhale, let's glide the shoulders forward. And I'm looking for smooth words. So we want this to be a gliding, rocking action. And we're listening for really sensitive movement. We don't want to be gross in our movement because sometimes it's that fast, big movement that sets us on the wrong pathway. So let's find something smooth, delicious, and let's be really radical and enjoy small. Small is beautiful today. Now let's bring this into a circle. So inhale, there's an up and a back, and exhale, there's a down and a gliding forward. Maybe think of your armpit taking you in that direction. Or if you have a sore neck, maybe you want to think of, oh, my collarbone lifts in front, my shoulder blade draws down and back. And these are simply suggestions. If one of them lights you up, use it. If not, just keep gently inquiring. So we've done a couple of circles already. Now let's syncopate. So one shoulder gets to make its full circle, inhaling and then exhaling. And then the other shoulder gets to make its circle. And this might invite your upper body to come into a little bit of a rotation. And maybe your head says, ooh, head and neck. Maybe they want to go in the opposite direction. Maybe the head and the neck wants to go with the shoulder. Maybe you want to try on one or two of each and see where the greatest joy lies for you. And we're letting the head and neck move freely, which means maybe they don't even want to move at all, but we don't want to lock anything. Often when we have a sore part of our body, we protect it by holding it. Okay, so just wiggle that out, shake that out a little bit, even make some silly sounds. Yawn a little bit, open and close your eyes because head and face are above the neck. And now let's do a little something to elongate the neck, because sometimes the neck is unhappy because it's holding this very big, heavy head, and there's a tendency for the heavy things to overwhelm the things that are underneath. So this idea that I often talk about elongating the spine by lifting up and creating space between the vertebrae, that might already give a little bit more freedom to the neck. So let's take the fingers, if they're available, to the base of the skull, and we're going to lightly press up. And as we inhale, lift the chin, but keep the base of the skull lightly lifted with those fingers. And then exhale, come up and over and gently bow the chin. You can bring the elbows in here. Now you can do this movement simply feeling the lift. So the neck constantly has a reminder of elongation. And if you feel like it, you don't have to, but if it pleases you, you can also open the upper spine by using the elbows. I find the simplicity of holding the base of the skull and moving the neck works wonders. I'm suggesting this extra opening just in case it speaks to someone. But remember, sometimes, well, almost always, less is more. I find in particular less is more when we're looking to resolve a movement question. It's almost like wiping the slate. So we're inhaling as we lift the chin and exhaling as we come in. It's almost as though we're clearing the slate and we're rewriting a new, fresh program. Keep the head nice and tall and relax those arms and let the shoulders melt down. Let the hands be heavy. And just see if this amount of movement in your neck makes a difference. Maybe this is enough to create some shift. Because as long as the door opens, when the portal opens and we feel a little bit of a change or a shift or it's almost like, you know, when those hearts come up in the chats and there's this little poof explosion, we get that feeling of something changes in the mind, something changes in our ideas, and something changes in the feeling. And that's that magic moment that means a new portal has opened. And the good news is once that opens on a neurological and muscular level, that stays open. It stays open. It doesn't close back up again unless we get really funky and crusty and just shut it all down. But usually once it opens, we have this lovely feeling of, oh yeah, we just want to keep it open. And it's like planting a seed. The seed has been planted and now you're going to water it with your attention and with your gentle curiosity and repetitions. So let's now play with the feet, because we had a lovely question about the tops, the bones of the tops of the feet. Okay, I'm actually going to tilt my camera down a little bit because I think this will help, since we'll be moving down into the lower body. I don't want to do it too fast to make anybody dizzy or anything like that. So the bones on the tops of the feet. Now this area I was just noticing this morning that this area was feeling tight on me. So I'm going to show you a gentle stretch to start with, and you might want to stand up for this, or you don't necessarily have to. So especially if we're wearing flat shoes, and I've got to say I don't like to wear heels anymore. They're very hard on my feet, and I've had a lot of foot issues that I've been exploring and conversing with over a number of years. So I do prefer to wear flatter shoes, but one thing that happens is that often we don't get much of a bend in the front of the ankle anymore. So one of the things that happens when we're wearing a higher heel is we get this action in the top of the foot, and we also get this action with the toes. So one of the simple things we can start with, let's just sit and inhale, lift the heels. So we're just gently stretching out the fronts of the tops of the feet, and then lower the heels down and lift the toes. This might be easier if the feet are a little further away. So inhale, we lift the heels just gently, and think of lightly guiding the arches forward so that the arch brings the opposite side of the foot forward. And then lower down and then stretch the calves by lifting the toes. And inhale, think of the arches gently rising to open up the tops of the feet, and then lowering the heels down, lifting the toes. And now find an easy rocking action for this. So this is just a little bit of a warm-up, a preliminary warm-up, but bringing some awareness into the top of the foot, even from the underneath of the foot. And let's bring that to a gentle close and maybe lean back, shake a leg, shake the other leg. And now I'm going to show the next part standing, but you might be able to, you'll probably been able to maneuver it sitting down. So you can choose. So this is a passive, quiet invitation for the top of the foot to get a little stretch. Now it's going to be different for everybody. So if you can do it seated. So I slid out to the outside edge of the chair so that I could turn the tops of my toes onto the floor. Doing it standing can be very helpful as well. You might even have a bit more control here. So we all have different amounts of digestible sensation here, and we never want to force or push because the body just tightens up. We want to invite. So here we are, the top of the foot is resting. We're nice and tall, lifting up through the crown of the head. And on an exhale, bend the standing leg just enough that you feel something opening, connecting into the top of the shin, the front of the shin. And we're just pulsing ever so delicately, as though we're underwater, if that's comfortable for you, or your legs are underwater. So there's a sense of buoyancy here. And now take a few moments, go to the place where your standing leg is bent, your other knee is bent, and you have a pleasant sensation of opening. And if you're gritting your teeth, that means it's not pleasant, so come out of it a little bit. And just take a few more breaths, smiling into the bones of the top of your foot, and also the tops of your toes. We're getting there too. And maybe you feel how that connects up into the front of the shin. And remember the above and below. So the shin is above the foot, and let's just shake that out. Lean into your chair, or lean back if you're sitting, and just shake that leg out. And go for a little walk if you've been standing. Just see how that is. And let's do the other side. And I use the chair just so balance does not become an issue in the exercise. Because this, of course, would be a fantastic balancing exercise, but we're doing it specifically right now so that we can put all of our awareness that we have available into the bones of the top of the foot, and maybe sense how it's a connection a little bit further up. So here we're growing nice and tall if we're sitting or standing. We're exposing the top of the foot to the floor, and we're taking a few moments just to get used to the preliminary sensation and feeling into the top of the toes, because they're connected to the top of the foot, and wherever else we're feeling it. And now, keeping nice and tall, let's gently bend or plie the standing leg, and then gently press it up. So bonus is we're strengthening the leg, but we're also giving ourselves a lovely range of motion in which to explore all kinds of different tones and flavors of what's happening through the top of the foot and any related structures. So now, with the standing leg bent comfortably, bent to taste, it's like cooking. You add just enough of the herb to your taste. So the taste here is comfortable, meaningful, valuable, relaxed. We're still tall, and you're breathing here, and you're letting the top of the foot melt and blossom and open, noticing what you notice, adjusting if you need to take a bit of pressure off, melting a tiny bit deeper if something has opened up and said, hey, let's go through the next doorway. It's good time. That's something you can't force with the mind. You can only hear when you listen. And then come up, lean forward, shake a, 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 and then go for a little walk and see what the tops of your feet feel like at this point. And I have one more for you. I'll show you the standing version first, which also works if you're a person who maybe your lower back is not happy today and you can't touch your feet easily. I'll show you the touching feet version next, but I'll show you the foot heels foot version. So we're thinking of the bones at the top of the foot, and of course we can see all of our toe bones, and then there are the long bones, those are the phalanges, and then we have the metatarsals, the long thin bones that then join into the tarsals that are around the ankle zone. So we can use our balance point, and we can take the heel and we can rub the heel up and down the grooves between the long bones. You can even lightly press down with that heel, because you're the boss. You know how much pressure feels good. Maybe think of this as going out for one of those magnificent massages where you get the skilled masseuse or masseur walking on you. So you get to be your own skilled massage therapist. So here you can use some rubbing up and down, and you can also use some gentle pressing, and all the while you're connecting with love, and you're breathing, and you're feeling. I'm just going to do that a little bit on the other side. you can, if you like that, that one's always available. And what's nice about that is you can do that when you're sitting. You can do it when you're sitting, and you can give yourself a little treatment seated. Now, so that one works sitting or standing, and you can just register how that feels for you and continue it on the other foot so you're nice and happy with that. And I'm going to show you what you can do if you're comfortable taking your lower leg up on the other thigh. And you might even want to do a little bit of hip loosening before that. But what you can do here is use the knuckles. So we have as above, so below. We've got the fingers like the toes. We have a long carpal, metacarpal bone for each finger, just like we have a long metatarsal bone for each toe. So if you make a light fist, you can use those knuckles to gently massage the grooves, and you can support with the other hand underneath. So this is like what we were doing with our heel. So I'm just going to do a few of these, and if you want to do them along with me, slow down. I'm slowing myself down as well because I get enthusiastic and then I speed up, but I want to remind you and myself and model for you that when we slow down and go inside, we can listen. And maybe there are little blips and crinkles and crackles that are happening either sound-wise, or maybe you're feeling, I'm getting some little almost granules that I'm sensing. So thank you, Barbara, for asking for that. That's helpful for me too. And you can give yourself a lovely massage this way, breathing, feeling, and take a moment, let that register. And we'll do a few on the other side. And if you feel a bit stiff putting the foot up, you can loosen the hip up a little bit. And then making that light fist and using those knuckles to find those grooves, at the top of the foot. And breathe and smile and look at your foot and send it love. Because sometimes when we've got a stiffness or a discomfort somewhere, we kind of orphan that area and we don't like it, or we have some negative thoughts about it. So also lavish the area with love, And then massage that out and see how that feels. I'm just going to come a little closer to the screen. I'm going to tip the camera. So anyone who's asked a question about the neck or about the feet, do you feel that you've gotten some assistance? You can press, do a yes, or press a little emoji if you like. And we'll come to finish with a full body experience. Oh, all right. Yay, got a thumbs up. I feel better. I got to say thank you to Basha and to Sabrina for asking about bones of the top of the foot and the neck. So it's kind of fun to just play with what's being asked for. It's like improv. So we'll finish with a full body experience just to get everything going. Oh, love the feet. Great. Our neck person loves the feet too. So, and as above, so below. The interesting thing is if you loosen something up in one part of the body, it's not unusual to have another part of the body loosen up as well. That's part of the whole fascial connective system. Hooray. Yes. Okay. Happy people. Excellent. I'm delighted. So let's just shake a little bit. This can be our celebratory shake. Woo! Just let that be nice and loose. And softening the knees, but staying tall. Exhale. Let's inhale and rise up gently, opening up. And exhale, just floating down. And let this be whatever feels good to you. A sense of the sides of the body and the armpits rising. So you're lifting your face to the sun, and exhale, coming down. And let's inhale, lift up, interlace the fingers. Exhale, press up, lean a little bit to open up one side. Inhale, tall. Exhale, lean a little bit to open up the other side. Inhale tall. Keep reaching up through the palms of your hands. Reach down through your tail and feet. Feel your magnificent height. Check that your neck is loose. And then let the elbows melt. Let them melt down. You can even trail your fingers down the sides. And let's finish with the hands resting on the low belly. And feel your connection to the earth. We've woken up our feet. Feel your connection to the sky. Enjoy your freedom in your neck. And visualizing these things also helps to strengthen them. So visualize freedom, visualize beautiful openness, and smile and breathe. And bring your beauty with you into the rest of your day. And I want to thank you for interacting with me today and bringing surprise and delight and co-creating together. So many, many blessings. We're going to continue the interactive theme for the rest of the week and have a most beautiful day, evening, until we meet each other again. Bye for now. See you next time. You're welcome. Thank you too. Bye.